organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, find out how the Board of Regents is tackling University of Iowa President Sally Mason's retirement.
And the flu's hitting Iowans hard. Find out how you can protect yourself next.
And in sports, a look at Iowa wrestling as they stay perfect on the air.
All that and more coming your way next.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Blake Jorgensen.
And I'm Hannah Thompson.
This morning, the Board of Regents met in Iowa City to discuss University of Iowa President Sally Mason's plan to retire. The board accepted her resignation that begins on July 31st. They also agreed to make Mason a professor emeritus and tenured faculty member, where if she chooses to come back to the university, she'll receive benefits and 60% of her current salary. Board of Regents President Bruce Rassiter says the process of hiring a new president will be like that of Iowa State and the University of Northern Iowa.
Daily Iowan TV's Tanner Sigworth went out today to see how some Hawkeyes are reacting to Mason's retirement.
Thanks, guys. As I've been going about the campus, I've started to find out that a lot of students don't know that much about the UI president. I got a lot of I don't knows, but for those who did, they were especially interested in topics that impacted them.
I'm from Iowa, so I know that a lot of people in the state felt like there were too many people from out of state coming here, and they'd like to see the in-state numbers go up.
I'm personally involved in Greek life, and I know that she's been kind of not necessarily a negative influence, but she can be tough on Greek life. She's kind of known for that.
And then, of course, there are those spotlight moments like the controversial comments Mason made about sexual assault.
I didn't think too fondly of that. I thought as a leader of a university, you should probably pick your words a little bit more carefully.
I thought she's done a good job here controlling some of the kind of things that have gone on.
Originally, I was kind of happy about her retirement. And the general just negative perspective on her, but I wouldn't say I have like any strong feelings either way.
It'll be interesting to see how much students learn about the UI president as we continue coverage of her retirement. Reporting from the University of Iowa campus, this is Tanner Sigworth. Back to you guys.
Tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time, President Obama spoke to the nation in his annual State of the Union address. To fill us in on the president's speech, ethics and politics reporter Aaron Walker is standing by in the newsroom. Aaron?
Thanks, guys. In tonight's State of the Union address, President Barack Obama is expected to address at least 3 of these main issues. The first one we wrote about yesterday is his proposal to make the first 2 years of community college free for qualified applicants. They would need to maintain around a 2.5 GPA average and show steady progress throughout their studies. The next issue is increased broadband access in rural areas. He was in Cedar Falls, Iowa last week actually discussing this in front of around 200 or so people. The last one is how he's actually planning to fund a lot of these projects, which is increasing the top rate of the capital gains tax, which is expected to raise around $320 billion over the next 10 years. Thanks a lot, guys. Back to you.
After President Obama spoke to the nation, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst provided the GOP response to his address. Ernst is Iowa's first woman ever to be elected to Congress. Ernst won the Senate seat in the 2014 midterm elections, beating the then Iowa Representative Democrat Bruce Braley and bringing the U.S. Congress to a Republican majority.
The terror group ISIS is waging war again. In a video released today, ISIS kidnapped 2 Japanese hostages and demanded the Japanese government pay them $200 million for the 2 men's release. If ISIS doesn't receive the money in 72 hours, they say they will execute the men like previous hostages, including American photojournalist James Foley.
And terrorists from the extremist group Al-Qaeda attacked and killed journalists at the French magazine Charlie Hebdo in Paris last week. I spoke with Professor Echo to find out what the attack means.
It's an attack on freedom of expression. That's why you see the reaction of the French. They came out, they all held pens. They show that the pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the bomb. The pen is mightier than the gun. Charlie Hebdo is a very irreverent disrespectful paper that is an equal opportunity provocateur. It provokes everybody. And so it has that tradition. The French say that blasphemy, disrespect of authority, disrespect of religion is a right. That is a right that they earned during the French Revolution of 1789. And they intend to keep that right. Those of us who are still around, it's our task, I think, to say that they did not die in vain. We must not yield to intimidation. We must not fear. We are not afraid. We shouldn't be afraid. Freedom of expression is a God-given right, and individuals should not take away the right from us.
I didn't even really wear a jacket to class. This feels like spring. I don't get where winter went.
I don't know if I was brave enough to go without a coat, but it was definitely nice. It made me think of spring, so that's always good. Tanner Sigworth is standing by in the weather studio. Tanner, what can we expect tomorrow?
Well, guys, we can expect some warm weather to stick with us. First off, it's good to be back here in the weather studio. We've had some decent weather as we kick off this spring semester, and it looks like it's going to warm up near the end of this week. But first, let's look ahead to tomorrow, where it's possible we could see some snow flurries in the early morning hours, but that's going to clear off as we head into the afternoon. It's going to be cloudy and almost touch 40 degrees before we drop back down to 35 for your Wednesday night. Temps are going to climb back up into the 40s for this weekend, and when syllabus week wraps up on a Friday, it is going to be great. 46 degrees for your high and clear skies. And then on the start of next week, we are expecting a chance of snow showers, 70% chance of that for your Sunday. That's all I've got. Enjoy the first week of classes. Back to Blake and Hannah.
All right, thanks, Tanner. The flu is sending people to the hospital around the country and right here in Iowa. Daily Iowan TV's Mary Caldwell found out how students can best prevent themselves from getting sick.
It's been a cold and dreary first week of classes here at the university, but one thing that could make things worse for students is getting the flu. This flu season alone, there have been a recorded 122 influenza-related hospitalizations in Iowa. And since students live in such close quarters, their risk could be higher.
I talked to Dr. Pat Winokur here to see what students should be doing in order to prepare for this flu season.
The best thing that we can do is identify people who are at high risk and make sure that we try and treat them with the few drugs that we have that help prevent serious manifestations of flu.
Although the flu shots do not cover all strands of influenza virus, Dr. Winokur says students should still get vaccinated. Places like Student Health offer the service for free. Dr. Winokur also added that the most important thing for students to do is wash their hands to keep from spreading the virus. Reporting from the University of Iowa College of Medicine, this is Mary Caldwell for Daily Iowan TV.
As students come back to campus for spring semester, it's usually a short drive from home, not across the world like international students. Daily Iowan TV's Austin Love tells us more on their welcome.
Last night was International Student Welcome Night. The event was held at both Courier and Hillcrest in an effort for American and international students to meet and become more comfortable with each other's cultures.
It's just a way to bring American students and international students together before classes begin, especially for the new international students who are just beginning their first semester. It's really important that they feel welcomed and engaged in the university community.
In 2014, the University of Iowa has over 4,000 international students representing 114 countries and territories. The most represented countries this semester are China, followed by Korea and India. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from South Korea.
I'm from Malaysia. I'm from China.
Hi, I'm from India.
I'm from Jordan.
With so many students from different backgrounds, Brown urges all of us to reach out.
Sit by a student who you don't know in your class and don't look at your phone. Ask them how they are and who they are, and be curious about the country and culture that they come from.
Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
International students can find more ways to get involved on campus by checking the Student Life at Iowa Facebook page. Basketball, wrestling, and many other sports back in the swing of things over at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Let's toss it over to our sports staff as Taylor Bartz is standing by to fill us in. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. Exciting news is coming from the Iowa basketball program as they start to gain attention in the national spotlight. But first, the Iowa Hawkeye wrestling squad is perfect 9-0 so far on the year as they improved their Big Ten record to 4-0 with a win over the Fighting Illini. Wrestling reporter Chelsea Brown has more.
The Iowa Hawkeyes may have defeated the 11th-ranked Fighting Illini here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena tonight, but Tom Brand says he's still not satisfied going into the tail end of their season.
I feel like they won the majority of the matches. I'm kind of embarrassed, too. I took the spotlight away from Alex Meyer. I mean, wow.
After a back-to-back technical foul and major decision in the 157 and 165 weight classes, it was Alex Meyer who occupied the 174 spot instead of second-ranked Mike Evans that didn't disappoint, bringing Hawkeye fans to their feet for the first pin of the night.
Most people dream about being up 10, 12 points and then sticking them, but getting a fall is huge. Getting the crowd on their feet is awesome, no matter how it's done.
With the loss from senior Michael Kelly and redshirt freshman Logan Thompson filling in the 165 spot, the third loss came at 133 pounds. A rematch between Iowa's Corey Clark and Illinois' Zane Richards, where this time Richards took the win.
And Clark's upstairs and he's hurting right now. He's hurting right now. He's a competitor. He does not take losing well. And so we gotta get him tuned in right now.
As a team, Iowa beat Illinois 25-12, maintaining their undefeated record now at 9-0. But Coach Brand says he still upholds higher expectations for all of his wrestlers to attack in the first period.
You know, we have to get the first takedown. It's that simple. You got to come out harder, and then things will go your way more at the end.
With only 3 individual losses, the Hawkeyes look to improve as they take on Northwestern here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena on January 23rd. I'm Chelsea Brown reporting for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks, Chelsea. Hawkeye basketball earned its spot in the AP Top 25 poll for the first time this season, rounding out the list and taking the 25th spot. The Hawkeyes are 13-5 overall. Also making the list are the other 2 basketball programs in Iowa. Iowa State cracked the poll's top 10, coming in at number 9, and the University of Northern Iowa jumped up a few spots to number 20. This is the first time that all 3 state schools have made the list. Basketball reporter Jalen Socek is taking a closer look at the Hawkeyes' big man, Adam Woodbury. Jalen?
Thanks, guys. And the Hawks move 4-1 in the Big Ten after a 76-67 win over the Ohio State Buckeyes. And the success largely coming from junior Adam Woodbury, a player that head coach Fran McCaffrey says is one of the most misunderstood. Criticism is nothing new for Woodbury, perhaps stemming from the fact that he had the opportunity to play for one of the best programs in the country of North Carolina, but instead chose Iowa, or that despite his incredible height, that his ability to dunk is questioned. But it's the constant criticism that leaves McCaffrey both confused and upset.
Because it's unfair. All that kid does is work his tail off at every facet of everything he does, and he's got an unbelievable character, represent the institution, his family, and he gets criticized unfairly. He is who he is, and I'll tell you what, I'll take him on my team any day.
Against the Buckeyes, Woodbury was able to put to rest some of the criticism with his best performance of the year by making a season-high 13 points and pulling in 10 rebounds. But the 7'1" center isn't trying to make a statement through his stats.
But that's not for me to worry about. I got to keep going, playing my game, doing everything I can to help the team win. If that doesn't mean scoring, then that's fine with me. I mean, I don't always put up great numbers, but I hope to help the team win.
Despite all the outside opinions, Woodbury says he's still able to play confidently, and this will do nothing but boost it just in time for his biggest test of the year, as he'll be contending with one of the best players in the country in the 6th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers, Frank Kaminsky.
I'm always trying to stay confident, but scoring this will help me. But I got to go in Wisconsin with a complete mindset that we're going to go win.
However, Woodbury struggling against the Badgers the last time these 2 teams met, only accounting for 3 points and 3 rebounds. Inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Jalen Socek, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes are currently in progress right now, taking on the Wisconsin Badgers, who are ranked 6th in the country. Go to DailyIowanSports.com for an entire recap of the game. That's it for tonight's program, but be sure to tune in tomorrow for a preview of Iowa Women's Hoops upcoming contest, and we'll also take a closer look at the struggling Iowa football program. Hannah and Blake, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Taylor. That's all we have tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Make sure to watch us again, same time tomorrow night.
And learn the latest breaking news at DailyIowan.com. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night.